What's up there, fellow YouTubers? This is Chris from the Msss Anomalies channel. Guys, I got another cool one for you today. It's from Sol 343, I think it is. This one here is basically a panorama, and most of you probably have seen these different pictures, but they've now stitched together. And this is an older one, of course, because we're up at, and we're way up there in Sol's now. But there's got a lot of cool things in this picture, and I'm going to show you where you can get it. Should be right here. And this is from Vista with a Twin Cairns on route to Mount Shop, rather. And this has some pretty amazing stuff in it. This is like the very southern part of Mount Shop, or as Mount Garbage as I like to call it. But it also has a lot of amazing things on this foreground. It's pretty big. I mean, you can see it's a little over 34 meg, so not really big, but you want that one if you really want to look for any kind of detail. So that's what I would do. That's what I would go for. You can do the regular JPEG, but the TIFF is always the better one to go with. So check it out when you can. Anyway, this is the picture you'll get. And guys, if I know a lot of my subscribers love to hunt for stuff. If you love using your magnifier, this is one of the perfect pictures to do it in. I'm not going to go over all of it. In fact, I'm just going to show you a couple things. One thing that people have talked about before, and then one thing I've seen, which is in this area here. But also back here, I believe there's a lot of stuff being hidden in this. You guys know that. I mean, I've been doing Mount Shop, this Mount Shop area quite a bit. I mean, on and off. It's not an obsession. It's my thing is simply this. Because it's the final destination of Curiosity rover, and I've said this, and many people have said this, that somehow there's going to be a wheel that's going to break off this thing, off the rover itself, or the last motherboard, because I believe there was two, and they're on the redundant. I think they're on the redundant one, because I think it was the first. I don't think it was like within a week. I think the first main motherboard took a crap on this thing, so they were on the redundant motherboard and so on and so forth. But I believe this thing's going to take a crap, only because I don't think this stuff's real. This mountain's not real, and if somehow they're going to have to pull this out their rear end. Because, I mean, you can just look at this right here. All this looks, most of the picture looks real, except for from like right around, this is all real, all the way across, and all of this is just fake. You can just see it. I mean, just by looking at this picture, you can see it, but they did a great job of trying to blend it in. Anyway, so I'm going to show you a couple things, and there's some stuff in the background. I'm going to try to find the video to this, because I've done one that was really in depth in this, and most of you guys will recognize this picture. This is this weird thing here, up here in this corner, right over here. So, I'm going to show you that, but let me go back to the main picture here, because this is what it starts off to be. I always thought this looked like some kind of weird two-headed animal. Like it has like the face, like a snout kind of thing with an ear, another ear right here, or one on the side. It might even be right here is actually what I thought. It was like it looking right at the camera, like an ear right here and one ear on this side and like a snout. And the other one had like another ear with a snout right here. Almost like a pig face kind of thing. But when you really look at this, somebody else had done this video, this particular picture, because it wasn't this whole picture. It was just like sectioned off, as I said before. But you can actually see like there's like a frame, like a white frame going across this, and there's like a round circle. So whatever they did, they doctored this thing up. Whatever this thing was. I mean, just this picture alone, look at this. Some other circle just sitting randomly on a rock. But these are not just rocks, guys. You'll just have to really take a look at this stuff, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But the back is what I was talking about here as well. I've done a whole video on this whole back area, and it's amazing, the stuff that's in the back. I'm going to try to I'm going to find the video to that. I'm going to leave the link here if I can in the bottom. It's just amazing stuff. I'll go over it real quick, but I'm not going to get into really in depth. But I want to show you guys not only that, the stuff in a few things here, and then over to this. I've seen this thing so often that I've actually called this Mount Twinkie. Because what's funny about it is there's actually in a couple of these latest sols, it is off the ground. This almost looks like it's entirely on the ground. This is what I'm saying, man. This thing morphs so many times, it's pitiful. I mean, it's insane the way this thing goes through changes, or how they change it, so to speak. And I've always used the analogy, if I was to go to your house, or let's just say you took your best camera you could find, and you went into any park, in your town and stuff like that, took some nice pictures of whatever. trees in the spring or whatever. You go back to it Friday, because maybe you took the picture Monday. You go back to it Friday, other than maybe cloudy or sunny, what changes? If you stood in the exact same spot, took the same exact picture, same camera, it should look identical. But yet, this never does. It's always different. So anyway, let's do this. I'm going to show you what looks like this weird skull on here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. And this thing blew my mind because it's neat. It's either some mechanical part or it just looks like a top of a skull sticking out. Now this, I don't know what this is. It's some kind of golden sphere or something that just kind of sitting right there. It's just round, just sitting right in its place. So it makes you wonder, is it some kind of goofy nose to this thing, or is it, nothing more than just a part of a piece of machinery? All right, now I'm going to equalize this up, and I'm going to just expose it up a little bit here, and then do a little blur. Now, you can see this thing actually has some symmetrical lines. I mean, it's just, the symmetry in this thing is just unreal. Do this, take out some shadows, and we don't even have to worry about the color, but look at the way this thing, it looks like an eye, another eye. This would be like on the eyebrow line, so to speak. But look at the way this goes up, up. Has this weird thing sticking out the side of it. And you see the way this is like all the way over here. Is it some kind of weird top of a skull? Is it a piece of machinery? Because when I say machinery, there's also, if you look right here, just in front of it, there's like these weird lines kind of thing coming down. There's something else. Let me just back out just a hair. See that? Now, that to me looks like some kind of weird skull with something sticking out the side of it here. Now, I'm going to jump right into this because you can go right into this picture. This is really neat. See that right there? I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. As always, you guys always get the last word, and you can just tell me what you guys see. But also, you guys will be able to tell me what you find because there is tons of stuff in this picture. It's like a treasure trove of just stuff. I mean, it's the best way you can possibly use. Let me back out of that. And I'm going to show you this thing. You guys have seen this before, and I thought this was a joke. They call it the duck on Mars. And from when you first look at it, it truly does look like some kind of duck. See it? It looks like a duck sitting right there on there. But this is what I always tell people: pay attention to detail, and this is no different. Because this in the back does not even look like it's part of it. This is its own separate entity, so to speak. This is separate. This is separate. Like these small random rocks. That's what that reminds me. It's behind this, whatever this is. Now, there will be some, as I always tell you guys, there'll be some kind of picture degradation because I downloaded the picture. I got in the manipulation software, and so on and so forth. So get the picture yourself. And the best way to do this thing is if you guys love to zoom or use your magnifier, keep this at, this is at 200% right now. This is at 100. You guys can go into your computer. If you're running Windows 7 anything, meaning Home, Ultimate, blah, 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 so on and so forth, go into your computer. Whoop, my bad. Let's start that again. Go back to Start. Go to Control Panel. Go to your display right here. And you go to your magnifying tool, and what will happen is you'll see like this rectangular area, it's a magnifier. And then this top here will drop down to right around here, and you can just X out of it. And then you can just bring it will follow your cursor. So wherever you want to go. If you don't know that, I figured I'd just add that, and you guys can do that yourselves. And just go over this whole picture, guys, because you will see stuff that'll just blow your minds. Details that'll just jump right out. But anyway, this is one of the objects you need to do that too, because this is what I found. Watch this. Let's see if I can get it to go here. Okay. Let's jump into it. Okay. Check this thing out. It's kind of like this weird round football. Well, not round, because it'd be kind of like an oval-shaped football. Okay. With legs. I mean, it looks like, if you were to look at some kind of futuristic movies, it almost looks like this small drone walking around the Martian surface. You can literally see it like comes out like this. It's kind of rounded. It is rounded right here. Has like a separation, another lower separation, and this part goes into, it looks like the front goes into the back part of this, and it's shaped like this here. It's got this like the part where the leg goes into, and it has like a pin or something holding that in. Now, it has this weird rectangular opening here. This is what I come up with. I did this dude, this drawing was so quick it probably took me 5 seconds. But that's what I see. Only a lot more shadowing down here, and I don't have that little pin or that little hole right there. Now, this is not a window. This looks like some kind of rectangular opening or some kind of just feature, rectangular feature in it. That's what I came up with real quick. But that's what I come up with. That's what it looks like. There is no head to this thing. It looks like some kind of weird little thing that walks around on the surface. Now, is it something sticking out of the ground, and they just kind of blotched it over and just manipulate it to make it look this way? Huge possibility, of course. You know, we know the way NASA is. But anyway, watch this. Now, it'll take it's going to just, when I equalize, it kind of takes the features away. But you can see it now. It's got more of a rectangular area. That brings that right out. So, blur it up a little bit, bring up some shadowing. So it kind of messes with it a little bit, but that's the reason why I left it like this to begin with, so you guys can see that a little bit better. But then equalizing it, you can just see that a little bit better. This contour right here, this curved area right here, this arched area. So you guys get the idea. All right. Now, just take a look at any of this. Look it up at the top of this right here. It has this what almost looks like an A-frame building kind of thing. I'm not saying that's what it is, of course. I'm just saying that's what it looks like. It looks like it's got an even overhang kind of thing, and it's got this weird, let me just go ahead and bring that up. Right here, like this platform, or it's part of whatever this is. Now, of course, they doctrined this up, so you can't tell what the heck this is really under here. But look at the way this thing has these shapes in it. There's like squares, shapes, different like little arches, like almost not round arches, but it has these arches kind of thing. But guys, check this stuff out. Just look it over. You're going to see some amazing things in this picture, because even like right here, there's some kind of weird, watch this. What you think you see, you don't really see. I mean, it's just stuff that just pops right out at you. There's some kind of weird thing right here. Comes down. Has this box-like type thing right here. You can see it's right here. It's squared off. And of course, here's one of the stitches to the picture. So you can, right there, just runs down the length of it. See that right there? Just runs. So that's one of the pitches, or two of the pitches, because you got one and one. But they've messed up here. They've like taken part of that out. But just look right here. There's something contoured right here, or there's some kind of weird shape. You can just see it right here. Comes down. But there's some kind of weird squared thing, and it goes around. It's rounded here. Just go through this picture and just look it over. There's a lot of weird frame things. Another example right here. Comes up, goes down here. It's got another part to it right here. God only knows if this is part of it and they just made it look like a rock. But there's many things in here to see. I mean, there's just like smaller things. Now, I'm not saying none of these are rocks. Don't get me wrong. It's not all a manipulation and not all, something else. It could be just simply rocks, of course. But there's a lot of stuff in here just to look at. I mean, just random round circles, just things laying around. Yeah. Let me just back out just a hair. Just round circles, weird frame things here. Okay. Let's do it this. Back out just a hair bit. Yeah, just look this stuff over, guys. You're going to see some cool stuff in here. There's something else that was right here. It looks like some kind of big machine or something laying right here. Let me see if I can go back to this. You can just see like it has like some kind of weird frame right here. And it almost looks like whatever was, like what's right here, like the outer casing, call it. Like the rest of it's gone. Watch this. When I equalize, you can see like this frames, there's some kind of structure to whatever this is. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. See that? Like it just has something like it's built. Like something right here just goes across. Then it has this weird casing that's, see that? There's something in this, there's no doubt in my mind. It's been doctored up to make it look like. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe some of it's been over here, on Mars for like hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years, and maybe it's just actually encrusted stuff. But you wouldn't think you'd see any of this. That's why I think maybe not so much. Something laying right here. It's just got a nice corner to it. Yeah, right there. But they kind of made it look like all rocks. But anyway, that's not the biggest thing I wanted to show you guys. Now, like I said, between whatever this is. And if you guys decide to do these pictures, because I know a lot of you guys like to pick these things apart, when you look at the background here, take the steps I'm doing here, go all the way down to here, and you can see the ones I've done. if you're using Photoshop, or even something like GIMP or whatever is very similar to this. When you invert, watch this. Look at the stuff that suddenly pops out. I'm just going to give you a quick example. Like when you do this here, pay attention to like this right here. Look at the way that shape is. It looks like one of those Vicks, drops you take. Okay? And it's just weird how you get this weird shape right here, and it goes down, goes across, and then down. And then when you invert this, suddenly they turn into what looks like multiple vehicles or structures. Look at this. Like it's like the end of some kind of machine or vehicle that you can store, like kind of like the giant planes we have today. Like you can store things in the back of them, these military planes and so on and so forth. But look at this, like oval shaped, and it's got some kind of vehicle or something, or building. This comes right here, goes down, goes across, and then down. But it looks like if you look very, you may not see it in this, but if you look at it yourself, it looks like there's like supports, like it's holding it up. Something on this side. I mean, you just look, and you can just see, look at something else right here. Oval shape rear end to it. Goes down, comes over to here. Looks like it's got something round in the front of it. This one here is almost identical to the other one on the other side. Look at this. Comes down, goes over to here. It slopes down right here and goes over here and has like what looks like two little dark areas, like maybe openings or something. It looks just like this one. Only this one's more raised off the ground, and, it's got these openings. But you'll see you can go back to 100%. And this is 100%, and you will see all these things just laying around in there. And it may actually look like a bunch of vehicles or something, but it looks like buildings, and they're all over this. This one, to me, was like a huge just giveaway. I mean, it just right here. It's like there's just like multiple things. See how like there's circles in it, and there's like this. I don't know if it's just multiple things, this one, or if there's many. Because of the manipulations, you can't tell. But just look this thing over. It looks like a bunch of vehicles or structures just laying about in one area. And that, to me, is just pretty cool in itself. But I'm going to try to find the video. There may or may not be a link in the bottom for this particular area. Because I know I've done an extensive video on this one area alone. I mean, all over the bottom of this. But like NASA likes to do, a lot of it changes multiple times. Okay. Now I'm going to get to this area right here, because this part will blow your mind. This, to me, and I've been saying this all along, these are either vehicles or structures, and you can't tell the size because of the way they, just the way they manipulate this. They make it look like it's like miles upon miles away. It's not. It really isn't. But I'll show you what I've got and what I found. You guys tell me, because as I said before, you guys get the bottom, last say, bottom line. And I enjoy your comments. So let's just jump into this. This, to me, people argue, well, there might have been water in this area. This is the reason why you're seeing these lines. Good point. What about the vertical ones? Look at this. When I see something like this, that gets me thinking. Come on. Look at this. Lines, comes down, so on and so forth. Just look at it. This looks like this small pipe thing laying right here. Right in here. It's like cylindrical. There's many things in this picture. Okay, now watch this. Let's just jump right into this thing. Well, I did the exposure first, but suddenly, look at this. It takes on a whole different form. Like it has like something here, goes across, comes down, down, and then down over here as well. And they're symmetrical. Look at the way it comes down. It's like the same thing. Now, when you look over here, there's some kind of round thing here. It's not... You won't see it much here, but I'm going to show you. I've got another picture in my other manipulation software that I'm going to show you. That it has some kind of round thing here, as well as right here. Like you can see it right here, comes down, right here. And then you're going to look at the other details that are in here. Just glance over this thing slowly, but look at this. Weird shapes going across, coming up and over. Right here, there's something that comes out. Nice smooth edge to it. Comes over to here, goes over to here, 90-degree angle. There's tons of stuff. And here's the thing, is the way they manipulate, some things will pop out and some things will not. This one here, if anybody's ever watched that show, Life Without People, or I forget what it is. I don't know if it meant, I think it was Life Without People or something like that. It was something along them lines. It was on History Channel. I don't know if it was on H2 or just regular History Channel. But it basically what it said was how the buildings would like degrade and fall apart over, it says like over, 2 years. 10 years, 100 years, so on and so forth, how buildings would collapse, nature would take back over, where we actually built on. Like, in other words, you see vines and trees growing out of, like, foundations of buildings and coming out of walls and so on and so forth. This, to me, that's what this looks like. Now, you guys can tell me what you think, but right here, you're going to see this is going to get a little bit clearer, and I'm going to be able to zoom right into this. Now, watch this. Now, I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Now, a lot of this is manipulation. And like I said, right here you can't see too much, but my other picture on the same area will show a little bit more features to it. But, okay. This looks like some kind of plateau or some kind of flat area that's like been manipulated, but it looks like there's some kind of square buildings or something at the top of this. And there's some stuff going on in here. Now, watch this. Okay, let's bring it up a little bit. And we're going to go back to this too, because look at this, the way this looks. It looks like some kind of weird girders or some kind of weird framing. Like maybe this was a frame of some building of some sort, and then it just come apart. It just, over years. It looks like, see, like there's like some features hidden in here. It almost looks like this weird triangle in the side of it. It looks like it very faintly. You can almost see like arches or something right here and something sticking out of it. I mean, this right here, it looks like it's rounded, and it has this corner to it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right here it's like real faint, but it has a corner to it here. But look at the way it goes up, comes up over this, comes right here, and then goes across and goes across here. And it does actually look like it's sort of off the ground. Now, if it's off the ground, it's not a mountain. I think we can all agree on that. And it's got some other features to it that doesn't look like just a strict mountain, or just a regular mountain. Okay, now watch this. Now, we're going to blur this area up. Okay. Excuse me. Now, look at the way this thing comes down. Has this curvature right here. Has something else right here and goes down. But there's something else right here, and I'm going to show you in the other picture. But look at this round, some kind of black dot in the center, and it goes off to over here. Something comes down from here. I mean, it just has this weird lines all over everywhere you look in this thing. Looks like some other weird circle type thing right here. Okay, now let's bring up some shopping. And let me see what else we've got here. Let me see. Right over, should be right in this area here. I think you can see this a little bit better. You'll see this a little bit better in this other picture when I get to it, but it looks like some kind of weird cone thing has fallen over, and it's got some weird designs to it, so we'll see that in a little bit. And if you look right here, it's got some kind of weird round thing, kind of like hidden under this. Straight lines, got this square thing going on. I mean, there's like multiple, like little things of coming out of their manipulations. So a lot of this is garbage, but watch this. I don't know if you guys will see this, but this to me in this area looks like it's been, like it has like vines and overgrown trees and stuff like that inside this area. Like, and it's like, watch this. Okay. Check this out. It looks like it has trees or vines, and you can see what looks like a shadow to it on the wall. Look at the way this comes up, goes over here, goes up right here, and comes back down. Well, it does the same thing right here. It kind of has this corner, has this peak up in here, and then goes back down. Or it's multiple things, and look at this, like some kind of weird, I don't know if this is part of this structure coming over here, or it's because it almost looks straight right in this area here. Kind of not right here so much, but right here, and then all of a sudden it goes up. Now, is it part of a structure, or is it just trees and stuff just taking over whatever this was right here? But it looks like this is an actual vine and trees and stuff just overgrowing this thing, and then there's actual, what looks like a shadow to it. I don't know. I throw some color in this thing to try to bring that out a little bit more, but see that? To me, that's just crazy. I mean, there's some things going on right here. Okay. Now, when I go back over to here, check this out. It looks like steel girder kind of things, and it looks like, it just looks like part of structures, meaning multiple, or just the one. Here's that round thing, the round circle, kind of a square on this side, and it goes up and over. Does the same thing over here. Comes up, stops right there, goes across, and then back down. But it looks like it's got a shadow to it, like it's raised off the ground. So now, is it multiple things? Is it one? I don't know. Look at this feature up here in the front. Goes down. I mean, I don't even know what to make of this. There's something right here, this like rounded area, and you can see where it comes down, goes down over here, and it's another rounded part. See that? And there's something in the middle of it. There should be another one here. Where did I see this other one? Oh, right here. There's some other cylindrical thing or some kind of weird thing sitting right here. Looks like it goes like this here. And it has something in the middle of it. Now, is this, like I said, I don't know whether this is, to me, it looks like a lot of manipulation. At least that's my personal opinion. But you can see something that's straight underneath all of this. See that? Look at this. Boom. Are these buildings under here? And just other things built around it? Is it like a big, everybody's been asking, if there is roads on there, and they're willing to accept that, but where's the buildings? I think this is where the buildings are. This is what I said not too long ago in one of my videos. I said about, is it possible that, Mount Sharp is really, or at least in these pictures, is it a template? And they're just dropping it on top of these actual structures they don't want us to see. Because if there's roadways or some kind of things with vehicles or any of that sort, well, there has to be buildings. I mean, it's just common sense. Looking anywhere, you can just see like straight lines of white, like this thing's being hidden in here. You could just look down on the bottom. Like they're different heights. Now, I don't know. It's anyone's guess, but there's just too many things in here not to be, it's just not natural. That's all there is to it. At least that's my personal opinion. This here, to me, it just screams, intelligently made. Just like I said, it looks like something's taken over this. Now I'm going to zoom in. I can come in quite a bit into this. That's what I like about this picture. You can come in quite a bit here, and like I said, it looks like some kind of area, like a building, and it's like an opening here. And I don't mean the whole thing is a doorway. It might be very, very small, but it's like it looks like this giant building area, or it's something more than that. It's hard to tell whether it's giant or not, because as I've said before, it's about depth perception. That's what they like to mess with us. So I don't know if this is just normal size or if it's just something a lot larger. And it looks like, if you look right here, it looks like something cylindrical going like this, and then there's something coming out of the middle of it. But look at here. It also goes across this wall into this area. I don't know. Now, let me show you something that here is distorted down in this area. And the reason why I say it's distorted too is because look at this. You got this other stitch line right here running down the length of this. So it kind of throws this off a little bit. But you can see something like, looks like parts or like little individual pieces and stuff laying around. This is the other picture I've got. Now, this thing was a disaster. This is the other one. It's super contrasted, but it's identical to the one we're looking at. Now, I'm going to show you what I found in this one. See, just by equalizing up. Now, this is in GIMP. So if you guys are using GIMP, you can go ahead and do this too. Now, watch this. Now, I'm going to zoom into this area. We'll go 300% into this, because this is the part I really want to show you. Right in here. Now, this one, because it's been really manipulated and the color's been, the contrast has been brought way up, it's really difficult to pull it out of this. But watch this. I want to show you something I just thought was just really wild, because I'm going to normalize it, brightness and contrast. Now, see how you can't really see the difference so much in here, but you can still see the actual structure? This is what I was talking about right here. It's rounded, comes down, goes around. Let's see if I can go in just a hair bit more. I'm going to take out some of the color. But watch this. Well, it kind of distorted it, but it's rounded right here, comes down. Rounded over here, comes down. Whoops, my bad. And it has this round white thing in the middle of it. Now I'm going to I keep thinking I'm in the other one here. I'm just going to back out this way. And here's that other piece I told you that was rounded, has it center, comes down, has another piece coming down, and then goes across here. But this is what's kind of wild. I don't know if you guys will notice it, but it struck me weird. This looks like a vehicle laying right here. Right in this area. This would be the front or the back. Front or the back right here. Side. One wheel well. Two wheel wells. Window. Side window. And then there's this other round thing in here. And look at the way this thing goes around. Comes down right here. Now, this is what I'm saying. It differs from the other because it's the way they manipulate it. Now, is it nothing more than just shapes and I'm just seeing this? Could very well be. But it just struck me a little odd because if this is some kind of weird structure, well, wouldn't surprise me then in the least bit because it kind of looks like a shape of one. Looks like steel girders sticking out right here. Sticking out of the back of this. Now, I can try to bring this up. You can just see like the little shapes now and stuff like that. But a lot of this has changed, but not really, because you can actually see it's like all kind of distorted in here. But you can see like like I said, looks like frames, kind of like this has. With the girders and stuff. See how much they still distorted it, but you can still see even this thing is even distorted a little bit, but you can still see it coming out the back. So anyway, guys, tell me what you guys think, because I'd be really curious. That's this picture here. I'm going to back out of it. This is what I've got in this one, and then this one here. To me, this thing just screams intelligently made. But have a good look at this picture. Tell me what you guys think this stuff is. Like I said, let's look on there. It looks like there's a shadow under this thing. Like this is not, like there's multiple buildings in here, and they're different size. You can just see these white things going across, and it makes you wonder if there's just buildings. This has been just slapped on top, or it's like a giant, I don't know, I don't know how to explain, like a larger building with smaller things in it or around it, in front of it. Call it what you will. I don't know. You know, your guess would be as good as mine, but to me, that just, look at this. That just screams intelligently made, man. So, guys, give me your take on it, man. Really, give me your take on it. Tell me what you think. You know, do you think it's nothing more than just eyes, you know, just my eyes playing games with me? Is it something more to it than that? Is this skull, does this look like a skull to you? And like I said, there's plenty more to see in this picture, guys. This is like crazy. Like I said, I mean, whoop, went the wrong way here. My bad. Right here. And of course, we got our little duck, this wannabe duck, right here. Anyway, guys, give me your take on it. Let me know. I'm curious about what you guys think. I thought that was really wild. I love this picture because there's tons. I spent hours on this, and there's so much to see in this thing. It's unreal. It really is. And you guys will find a treasure trove of stuff in this thing. Give me your take on it. If you guys are just viewing, you're not subscribed, sub, and you'll find like a lot of good videos in here. I got some good ones coming up. Give me some thumbs up. You know, spread the word. You know, about the videos, because that's the bottom line for me is getting the truth out, plain and simple. There's plenty of things in here that are being hidden from us, and things that are just in plain sight. Have a look at it. Tell me what you guys think. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate my new subscribers that just jumped on board. I appreciate that. It's telling me more and more people want to know what's going on. So with that, let me let you go. You guys have a good day. It's going to be sweet out here today. It's supposed to be around 75. Looking forward to that. I can't ask for any more than that. Anyway, guys, I will see you next pick.